All right, welcome to Time for 13 in 13. We are here tonight to talk about arachnids in the UK. With me, as always, is Rob.
Hello.
For those of you who are just joining us, this is a shortened version of our normal podcast that we are going to talk about the latest episode of Doctor Who in 13 minutes and 13 minutes only. We have a hard time hitting that, but we're going to get pretty darn close. So,
Exactly.
all right. So let's start. So what's the? We're going to start with the rundown. We got to start with the alternate titles.
Okay, so number one, I've got 4 options, but these are really good to do that. Number one, the toxic arachnid.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Of course, that seemed easy. I also liked Ms. Smith's 7th grade biology class.
Oh, all right.
There's a little educational component.
Mm-hmm.
I also maybe thought it might just be good to call it "Look Up."
You think by that point.
Seriously, everybody, look up. But I ended up going with all apologies to our favorite neighborhood superhero and the Overlook Hotel, the webbing.
Oh, the webbing.
Because that really...
That's pretty good.
That's pretty much in a nutshell, you know.
Yeah. So before we dig heavily into the episode, I had a chance to read an article that they published with the designer of the new Tardis. So we actually had some pretty interesting stuff to talk there. I won't. You can find it online. There's a lot of stuff to go into about the fact that they used they wanted to have gears and that sort of that she's a builder. But one of the things I thought was really interesting about it was they talked about the console, because they really with the entire design of the TARDIS, they went back to square one and they said let's start with an entirely clean slate. Like, what do we want? And one of the things that Jodie specifically asked for was, I want a console. Like, I want a thing that I can hold on to and I can touch and I can manipulate. Like, I really want that physical thing. And so when they designed it, they decided, and rather than they went away from sort of what we saw with the Matt Smith one, and especially in the Capaldi one, where it's very computery. Like, they decided to go on this whole idea that she's a maker, she's a builder, and it's all valves and handles and pneumatics and like that stuff. Like, so if you look at it, there's no keyboard anymore.
Right.
Like, it's all very, I guess, kinesthetic. Like, it's very physical. It's very everything is very tactile and very. It's pipes and switches and things. Not so much like it's not supposed to resemble any type of future computer.
Well, even the little bits of the displays we've seen, they're like truly organic LED displays that don't really. They're not a box. They're more shapy and more or less like a diagnostic display rather than a virtual one.
Yeah, and so for the one unique touch, then they talked about having a biscuit dispenser. For us, it would be Cookie, but they found out what Jodie's favorite cookie was, and then made it so that the console would dispense her favorite cookie.
And I will admit,
just as their little fun affectation.
So those are custard creams, and I immediately then went to Amazon and ordered a package of them.
Just for authenticity.
Let me explain. They taste like old golden Oreos.
Okay.
Literally, no joke. That's literally pretty much what they taste like.
All right.
That might have been.
I'll have to try that
over the pond. I don't know, but anyway.
All right, but I've been self-indulgent enough where we need to stick to our time.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
So let's get into the episode.
So, plot summary. Here we go.
Yes, hit me.
The Doctor finally gets her friends back to Sheffield, fails at small talk, and finds that overgrown mutant spiders have begun to overtake the UK as a result of American hotel magnates cutting corners in the toxic waste disposal business, ending with Stormzy's Know Me From saving the day, the evil American leaving unscathed, and our newly christened TARDIS team beginning their official travels.
Ah, yeah.
That was a lot.
It was, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it was nice. I feel like we learned a lot of stuff. Like overall, as we've seen before, this is the weakest that we've seen so far.
Yes,
but it wasn't by any means a bad episode. It was almost like it was a deck chairs episode. It was just like we're just moving some things around before we get to further down the line.
Okay,
It was
so an interesting programming before we get like characters and doctor stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it, and you and I are watching it pretty much the same way on iTunes. Mm-hmm. So no commercial interruptions.
Right.
I'm watching the episode the first time I watched it, and there came a point where I went, "Wow, I wonder how much time is left," because I don't know. I'm assuming this is running slow in my head, but I didn't know. I hit pause on the remote, and there were 11 minutes left in the episode. And I got to say this, it moves as much as you think, well, there's not really much of this episode. because it's constantly, I mean, this is, I guess, and it depends on how you look at it,
Mhm.
one of the advantages of having 3 companions now.
Mhm.
In these episodes where they split up, you got to keep shifting the scene to find out what's going on with everybody.
Yeah. Very true. And then when you added now this one, we added like 2 more or 3 more people to come along with them. Then you
Exactly.
have different pairings of people that in different places.
So no, I mean, I gotta say, even for when you might think this is one of those slower burn episodes, wow, it moved fast. One of the things, okay, so a little bit of character development.
Mhm.
I thought that Graham, his moments with, it's not meant to be, a ghost of grace, but just these moments of where he's lived with somebody with for so long,
Mhm.
got this little residual memories, and I thought those were just phenomenal moments. We definitely get a much bigger insight into Yaz.
Oh yes, I was going to say that this was a huge episode for Yas, and we get to find out like why she has sort of been the third of 3, because like that's how she's lived her life. Like she's been shouted down,
Exactly.
and her entire life you get to see these 3 very strong personalities in her house, and how she has become just like this sort of quietly has to take it from all 3 of them.
No, exactly. She's the middle child without a middle.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, no, that's really, I mean, no, it's very interesting. Ryan, okay, so I will say this, I mean, like you get a little bit of a tease, just that little bit of his letter from his dad and
Hmm.
things. He's got the greatest, though, vernacular slang.
Yeah, he is the most British.
Absolutely.
I like some of the stuff. Like we've even had to turn the subtitles on. Nice thing about watching on the Apple TV is you can say, "What did he say?" and it jumps back, turns the subtitles on, and see it. And a lot of times I read it and go, "Oh yeah, I have no idea what that is."
That's just the phrase. That's what the kids in the UK apparently are saying.
That's right.
Okay. And also I found it really fun. So we got to talk about our Chris Noth,
Yeah.
Robertson.
Yes.
So interesting thing I found out about this. You read some of the stuff online. I think some people got way too wrapped up in the idea that this was just a Trump caricature.
Yeah.
I think and this is one of the big things, my favorite part of this episode, it's really not a Trump caricature.
No.
It's what happens next.
Okay.
The idea that if this is the way politics continues to go, well, this is what people are going to think that is what they need to be like.
Yeah,
And so
and I thought it was good that they what we in the writing world call hang a lantern on it. Is that they didn't try and have him be like he was Trump, like he is an antecedent of Trump, like he knows Trump, he does not like him. I mean, like they acknowledge the elephant in the room, like they have it be that this is the modern world, it is what's going on. So he was another guy, similar but not
in the
identical.
same universe. No, I thought
Yeah.
that was really important. Now they did get a little weird with he's a clean freak. He's washing his hands.
Yeah,
He was a
I
little,
thought that's when I thought there was going to turn out that he was actually like an alien that he has to moisturize.
yeah.
Moisturize
I
me.
thought that was interesting, and I could see where some people are confusing it. Like, oh, well, are you trying to make a caricature or not? It was a little wibbly wobbly, and I didn't necessarily care for that. But I thought Chris, I mean, he chewed up the scenes when he.
Oh yeah, yeah. He as an overbearing a-hole American. Yeah, he definitely nailed it
It was awesome.
with the gun stuff too. I mean, like I didn't feel like preached to. Like, hey, you're an Englishman. What are you doing talking about Nobody punches my brother but me. I was like, oh yeah, valid point.
You
Yeah, like I know we know people like that.
you could say he was a Mr. Too Big.
But bump.
Gonna let that just fly over anyone's head. Fly over. There we go.
I tell you though, the one thing is, as watching it with my wife, she was livid about the fact that he just walks away scot free.
Now don't you think that's not the end of him?
I do. I expect that they're going to bring him back for
absolutely,
something.
yeah,
That there'll be a final another appearance or a comeuppance or something further down the
Yeah,
line.
he's not done. That's
No.
there's more. That character is not finished. So the doctor stuff. So we did find out a sister and sisters.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, that was like, wait, and you can't just throw that out there. Like,
I know there's a lot of those things where she's just casually mentioning these huge changes to the established lore. So they're like, whoa, wait, what?
And there's no way that's not a throwaway. That's an intentional plant of a future point. Like,
I would have to think, yeah.
I did love though. I tell you though, I think if you're still adjusting to Jodie Whittaker as the doctor, she's embodying some of the best parts that you love about the doctor. The whole little joke about small talk and that she's bad at it. Yeah, they're all bad at it. They all, and at least she realizes it. I think that self-awareness of it is really well done. And I love her little moments, like the whole interaction with with Yaz and the when Yaz's mom is like, "So are you dating?" and the whole reaction to that is great. You can't be president if you fired Yaz's mom. Like,
Uh-huh.
just already it's good stuff. I mean, and that one didn't even make the quotes of the episode, phrase of the episode. Like, I just thought it was really nice. There now little stuff I'll go into. Like, okay, we're still getting the idea. Wow, the doctor's definitely anti-gun. We get it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Clear. But you're still getting the idea that the doctor really knows that the doctor doesn't want to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still obviously that's been a thread throughout the entire show. So
And she's very clear about it, though. That's the thing is different about her is a lot of times she's not hiding all these things like the doctors have in the past have done.
And I think it's refreshing. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. And so we're getting into. You want to do phrase the episode? I want to get into the end.
Okay, so Wibbly Wobbly, new time vortex, amazing.
Oh yeah, I thought about it actually reminded me a bit of Bill and Ted.
Absolutely, fantastically done, and again, in great shots, cinematography, amazing transitions, the music, all of it great.
Yeah.
Phrase of the episode: you really like junk, collecting it like stamps.
Yeah.
2, I eat danger for breakfast. No, I don't. I prefer cereal.
Yeah, I think it was like oh, somebody on the Doctor Who wiki is like, oh, cereal.
Right, dude. I have all the authorization I ever need. I call people dude now.
I thought that too. She said it, and I was like, "She's calling people dude now?" And then she immediately went,
Really?
"I call people dude now."
Now this is not a doctor one. Do you have any idea how annoying it is when my husband's right? Excellent line, but my favorite line.
Oh, I know what it is.
What are we gonna do? Spa it into submission?
Oh, see, and I thought you were gonna do who's in charge.
Oh no! Well, no, that was in the trailers a lot.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a great line.
But okay, but it is. No, it totally is. But the spa it into submission. I love that. I did.
That was good too. Okay, so I want to talk about a huge thing that I in my limited but still expansive Doctor Who lore. I don't remember this ever happening in a Doctor Who episode, and it gave me chills. It was so good. I know, like that's what I was saying that I knew this episode was going to be good because would be the moment that one or two or three of them would choose to go. Like it was before, it was like they had the adventure, and then like they were lost in space, and then like the TARDIS took them back in time, and now it's like, okay, now they're free to leave, and this would be the moment when they would come back. And so the doctor does want them to go, but she's not going to say anything to it. And in their own way, all three of them come to the realization that what they need right now is to get the hell out of town. Like they for various different reasons. Graham articulating it best of all. Basically talking about his grief and like I have to work through this. I have grief. I want to do it out there. Like I don't make me go back here. I'm not ready for this now. Take me away. And it was a beautiful speech. But that was great. And Yaz has a nice thing about her too. Like, get me away from my crazy ass family.
Right. Exactly.
But it was the moment that the doctor says, "Are you sure?"
Yeah. Oh,
that
good. Yeah.
I was like, oh, what? Like, she says, "Look, you're not going to come back the same people." Like, she lays it out. Like, stuff's going to change. It's dangerous, and you're going to change, and things are going to happen. Like, are you prepared? I was like, oh, whoa, this is a very different doctor.
Very different. Much more honest and much more looking ahead of the game instead of just going for the hit of what they need right now to have somebody with them. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I had never seen it before, and I thought that was amazing.
Oh, I think that's excellent. I'm glad you had that one.
Our time's running out.
There we go. So the favorite theme of this is, I think this episode sums it up, is what will you become? Whether it's loss, whether it's what's going on in the world with politics or responsibilities or relationships, are you going to move forward or are you going to go backward? And I think overall that was the theme of the episode. So I love it. It's great.
Yeah. So I would say we in our classification system from 1 to 5, we put this probably somewhere in the middle. So A3, which of course is,
personally, I think that's a hell of a bird.
A solid episode. Not the best so far, but still certainly not a terrible one too. I mean, I also like the fact that they weren't spiders from space, because we've seen spiders from space before in Doctor Who, and it was not particularly memorable or something to be proud of. If you want to see what I'm talking about, you can watch the Honest trailer they just put out of classic Doctor Who. They play a little scene from the Council of Spiders, and yeah. But like I say, I'll give props to the CG department, man, for a BBC show. CG, whew, man, those guys
really
put in
good.
a lot of work.
Looking really good.
Yeah, some good looking spiders.
Yes.
So, all right. So that was our talk about arachnids in the UK. Thank you all for listening. We will be back next week with our next episode.
Bye.